The Dental Brief is brought to you by Omni Premier Marketing and the amazing guests who bring wisdom and advice that you can put to use to take your business and practices to the next level. Find us on Facebook and join the conversation. Get ready to grow because we are kicking off the next episode in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dental Brief. I'm excited to have our returning guest on today. Jay, I always want to get your name wrong. It's Jay Glazer,
like the Fox
Glazer.
Sports guy.
Like,
The guy who has a little less hair than I do.
yes.
Similar to like your hairstyle. And he gets on the NFL and he's on all the games. Oh, this Jay Glazer.
Yeah.
So that's,
How did that guy get his start, by the way? I think he was a bookie, wasn't he? I think he was a sports
It's funny. I actually did it's funny you ask. I did when ChatGPT started, I did like a thing like, who is Jay Glazer?
Mm-hmm.
So it said like, I work with DC Dental, Crazy Dental. I played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It basically merged all of our information into one.
Nice.
So apparently he played for the Buccaneers. I don't know if he ever played it down, but that's what it says. And
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe it was a bookie. I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing once. I laughed when I read it. And then he's with Fox Sports. I think that's
I'm not sure, but I think we've got it pretty clear. You're not the football guy. You're the Crazy Dental Prices guy.
That's right.
I think that's what you're kind of getting known at. Jay,
what's up?
Tell us real quickly. We've been through this before, but tell us real quickly. We're going to get into the heart of today's episode, which is like the headaches, the nightmares that can happen when you switch dental providers, right? The things that you don't know. And I think that's really important because everyone's always looking for great service and great prices, and they make a switch and it turns out to be a headache that they regret. So we can help them avoid that headache. That's today's subject. But first, tell me, why did you start? Why are you a part of Crazy Dental Prices? Why did you join the team there? And tell us what you do.
It's a great question. So I was in the nonprofit sector after college days, and I was in there for about 11 years. And it was time. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, actually, and it was time to hang up the cleats and move on. And the mentor of mine, someone who I speak to, actually was the matchmaker for the nonprofits that I worked for and represented. Said, "Hey, I know this guy. I also mentor him, and he's the director. He was a VP at that time of marketing and sales for a company called DC Dental. Call him up." Now, I grew up in Baltimore. My parents are here, so I was like, "All right, I'll call him up." And I went to school with this guy. He's a year younger than me. He was in my brother's class. We were buddies. We used to play stickball together. Well, in those days, it wasn't stickball. It was like, those red bats with the fat ends, the wiffle, because we were afraid of breaking people's windows. We used to play ball together with his older brothers, so we were good buddies. We lived around the corner from each other growing up as kids. I called him up, flew out here, had an interview, and they offered me a job. And the rest is history. I moved on up. Actually, for a year, I commuted. I commuted for a year because we wanted to sell our house down in Atlanta. And, when your kid's in school, it gets to a point where if you don't sell the house, to switch in the middle of the year, it's just too cumbersome. So we said, okay, we're going to wait till September, end of September. No, November. Oh, okay, December, that's it. New Year's is our deadline. We didn't sell because we didn't get an offer for what we wanted for it. So we just held out. And I commuted every week. I flew in the beginning Sunday. I got to December. I'm like, no way, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm leaving Monday morning. I want to be home more nights than I'm away. So I left Monday morning, flew back Thursday afternoon, working home Friday, which in those days was like an anomaly. Today, people working from home is like normal.
Right.
Then it wasn't so typical. But whatever, you got your computer, you're in sales. I was a rep for the DC Dental side of our business for, I think, 7 years, 8 years, something like that. I think 7 years. I don't remember anymore. I have to look up on LinkedIn, then I can tell you. And then I switched over. They moved me over to a biz dev role with Crazy Dental. And the goal is to grow that and think it's been very successful. And the rep days think I was successful. And then ultimately that also morphed into being a biz dev guy on the DC side as well. So, I wear my double hats. My business card have both names on them. And whoever's the best fit for our company, that's where I direct them. That's where I shoot them. And if people want to rep, then we do the DC side. If it's a marketplace, DC side. It's a DSO, DC side. And if it's just, an office, simple guy or gal that has 1, 2, 3 practices that wants the guaranteed best price, it's on the Crazy side. And there's really no reps. So we're able to just bring people in, and we just keep growing upstream. And that's how I got into this business. Do I know anything about dentists? No, other than I went twice a year to get a cleaning, and and some of the things they do. And then you learn on the job. They trained us a little bit, and we had, in those days before COVID, the reps from the manufacturers used to come and give us training and tell us why their product is better than someone else's. And and as long as they fit us lunch, I would show up and listen. And I went. I listened. We learned the business. We had our VP here trained us a little bit. And you learn on the job. Some people really know every product, know everything about everything a dentist does. And I'm of the opinion where that's important, it's crucial. But I just like to I want to. We have the product. Let's just sell it.
Sure.
And whatever you need as an office, that's what we'll get for you. And
Yeah.
we have people that have a lot of information. But I just let's just take care of what you need. And at the end of the day, if I get them a product that they don't like, it's my fault. So this way, if we know, if the end user, meaning the office staff, whoever it may be, really know the product that they're looking for, that's we have it. So we'll sell it to you rather than. And if they have a question, well, do you have a substitute? Do you have something that's a little different? That we know. But like the nitty gritties, there are people here that know that. I'm of the opinion I want to sell the product.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
So
Jay, I know, I'm going to segue by letting people know that, hey, it says pretty clearly right on your website, you guys have a 110% price match guarantee.
yes,
We usually don't let companies promote themselves, right? It's an educational program. I think that's a pretty good promotion for you guys. So I'm
thank
going
you.
to throw that out there right now. Check it out, crazydentalprices.com. But let's talk about the nightmares that can happen when you make a switch if it's not executed properly. What are some of the things that can happen? What are some of the horror stories you've heard?
Okay, so there are a few popular misconceptions about switching, and then there are a few popular mistakes that people make.
Sure.
So number one, the misconception is people think, oh, it's such a pain. It's really not a pain. We're living in 2023, almost 2024, and it's easy. The technology that's out there today, it's the same way you could tell that you're we don't jack people's prices up. We don't do that. The only time we do is in the manufacturer increase. We don't play that game. When you join us, we'll lower it and then we jack it up because we're a buying club. Crazy Dental Sites, buying club. So we go ahead and we scrape. We look at the other published prices, and whoever is least expensive, we just match it. So we're basically at the behest of every other of our competitors. Now, as far as a change, it's send us your invoices. We go ahead. We just update it on a website similar to Amazon, where everything's just a wish list. It's lined up. Boom, boom, you change it. It's simple. Now, you people, we're all creatures of habit. I like doing things the way I do it, and I like to use the example of like when you fill up gas in the morning. For those of us who don't have electric cars, even electric cars, do you go to the same charging station? Do you go to the same gas station every time? Some do, some don't. But if you need gas, you get gas. Like it's not the loyalty today is different. So to go ahead and know that you're going to save yourself thousands, maybe 10,000, depending on the size of your practice. To me, it's like a no-brainer. You can potentially hire another employee that could focus and not spending an hour, 2, 3 hours a week on opening up 18 windows on their computer, talking to 8 reps, and trying to just leave it up to one company to be done. And the challenges are when most dental manufacturers, if not all of them, use different item numbers. So, a Shine number is going to be different than a Patterson. It's going to be different than a Banco. It's going to be different than a Darby. It's going to be different than DC Dental, different than Burkhardt. They're all different. Everybody's different. We're all different numbers. So, what we did was when we started out, we came up with this idea that not to toot our horn, but this is how we do it. Instead of having 34986-322 whatever it is, we just use the manufacturer's item number. That's it. Simple as that. So if you have an item and you pick it up, it's a bond. You look at the bottle or whatever it is, and it has the manufacturer number on it. Boom, that's the number we use. That's our item number.
Yeah.
Instead of just making some generic. And for people switching, that's also so much easier because if someone says, "Oh, I didn't get this. I don't know if they have it," just take the item, type it in your computer, on your phone, whatever it is, and it'll pop up. Or if it doesn't pop up, then we don't have it.
Right.
The challenge with that is house brand. House brand, it's a house brand, so there is no manufacturer number. Everybody
Sure.
has their own number, and that's it. So with that, we just did, if it's pharmaceutical, then we have PR. Whatever it is, we have and then we have a number. And then with each item, we have a prefix. So the prefix is designated to that manufacturer. So like GC America is going to be 677, 3M is 516. So every item has a 3-digit, which you don't need when you go online to order, but that's for us, and you'll see it on your invoice online. That's just for us to identify who that product belongs to, the manufacturer is. So that's one piece that we felt was important when you have people switching over. The early days we would actually send out faxes and this and that, but which somewhat extinct. But in order to move people over, to me that what I hear is that it's the biggest challenge
Right.
and setback people have is like it's such a pain. I'm so used to going on that one website and ordering it, and I know them. The truth is, it doesn't matter who you know because we have a customer service department which is stellar out of Minnesota, so it doesn't matter who you're talking to. That's number one. Number two, it's just about going online and ordering it. So yeah, the website may look a little different colors, blah blah blah, but it's just a website.
Sure.
But we are creatures of habits. If you go to Amazon, you like ordering your paper towels for your house. On Amazon, you go there and do it. You're not looking at it, 6, 7, 8 other websites. So
Right.
it depends. Some people who order are out to save money. They can go to the doctor and say, "Hey, I saved you. Can you get me a raise?" Some people don't really care. Just get the job done. And there are a lot of doctors that are like that, and they tell their employees that way. Just get the job done. I don't kind of want to. So it's really up to the office and the culture of the office and the structure. Do they want to make that move, which is not that difficult, and we streamline it and make it as simple as possible. And are you willing to change? And if you are, I don't think there's anybody better out there. In fact, I know that. But at the same time, it's and then what else happens in the next step, the next stage is once you switch over, and then guess who comes knocking at your door? The person who you work, especially if it's a rep, they're coming knocking at
Right.
your
All
door
of a
like,
sudden.
"Hey, hey,
Yeah.
where'd you go?"
Right.
"Oh, we'll match everything. We'll match everything." Well, why didn't you match it, 4 years ago when I started working
Right.
with you? Oh, well, and it's right. I was a rep once before also. I know it is. It's not fun losing an account, especially if it's your livelihood. I get it. But and I feel for him. I do. But that's how it's a fair point. They're doing their job. They're coming right back at you.
Yeah.
And even if you say, "Oh, you know what? I like that guy who's a good guy. He sent me chocolates." We have deals now. Also, we'll send you pizza. We'll send you chocolates. We'll send you coffee for the office. We'll do that also. But we don't have that one-on-one touch because it's all computerized. So
Yeah.
we don't have someone not. And some people don't want anybody knocking at the doors anymore. Some people do
Well,
like it.
that's
Whatever.
that's the thing is it's people don't. And
Right. Right.
if you look at dental, and you talk about a dentist telling team member, "Hey, just get it done," and what have you. I mean, and you mentioned electric cars too. And one of the benefits of owning an electric car is you save about 12 and a half to 13 hours a year. Which doesn't seem like much, but it's a day and a half, right? It's
That's
almost
right.
2 days.
You can watch the
Not
Titanic
going
movie
to
three
gas
times.
not going to gas stations. My wife has an electric
Huh.
car. She hasn't been to a gas station in almost a year.
Wow.
That's a big
Wow.
time saver for her, right?
Wow.
And if you calculate what you make per hour with a patient in the chair times 12 hours, pretty significant savings there, right?
That's
So
money. Yeah.
sometimes not working with people, unfortunately, as much as I don't like a lot of the loneliness the tech world has created for people, not working with a rep does save a lot of time, right?
And
And I
I
also
think
agree with you. I recently switched before football season for obvious reasons from one TV provider to another that has the NFL Sunday ticket. And when I made the switch, they offered to cut my bill in half, which was $100.
wow.
I mean, it went for, we can go from $196 a month down to $95 per month. And I'm like, why didn't you do this before? It
Right.
is
That's
very
how it works.
frustrating, and it doesn't feel very friendly and very loyal to find out that they're charging you double of what they should have been charging you or could have been charging the whole time. That doesn't feel like friends to me. So I think there's some
Yeah.
objections to not overcome. So
And
be,
there's one more point I would just add to your brilliance there that you just
yeah,
mentioned. It's the saving of the time, and then which is like the electric car. I'm actually jealous of your wife now, but how you say it? But I guess as long as you plug it in your house. But another advantage is that let's use your analogy of 12 hours, right? So let's say you save the chair time of 12 hours, right? Because and you save so A, you're saving all the money, and B, you have 12 more hours now that you can use chair time. So what are you doing in those 12 hours?
right.
You may go to get something to eat or drink, whatever. But what else? So let's slice off an hour or whatever. But at the end of the day, what do you could be, if you're a hygienist, you could be cleaning teeth. If you're an assistant, you'd be helping the doctor. If
Yeah,
you're the doctor itself, himself or herself, you could be drilling someone. You could be making big bucks. So that those 12 hours can turn into 10 grand. So
yeah,
you're saving 10 grand and you're adding that's a $20,000. At the end of the year, most people would appreciate a $20,000
yeah.
bonus at the end of the year.
It's funny. I ask every dentist that's on this program, actually everybody in the program, how they got into dentistry. And usually they talk about something in dentistry that they love, right? Oh, patient care or, great lifestyle or what have you. I've never heard anyone say because I get to order supplies and deal with reps. It's not something that I've heard yet. I'm
Not
sure
the highlight
someone
of their
was,
day. That's a shame. That's a
yeah,
shame.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jay, what's the best way for someone who wants to learn more about crazy dental prices? What's the best way for them to reach out to your team or reach out to you, or how does that work?
Thank you. So either they can. I am always. I try to make myself always available unless I'm traveling or whatever it is. But phones today, you're available no matter where you are. So the website is. Thank you for asking. It's crazydental.com, crazydentalprice.com. I'm always into the short life side of things. Crazydental.com goes to the same place. and email me, jay@crazydental.com. That's JAY, crazydental.com. Reach out to me on Facebook for those are people that have gray hairs. You can reach out to me on Instagram for people that are under the gray hair life, right? Age group brackets, LinkedIn, or Twitter, whatever is easier for you. I try to be very available. You can call me at the office here. Some people call me Crazy Jay. It works out well. But wherever you'd like to reach out. Again, you go to the website. Our customer service literally is stellar. 800-260-6451. That's 800-260-6451. Why it
Yeah.
doesn't end with like a 00, because that's when we bought the company. That's what it had, so we just kept it. But great people, wonderful people out of Minnesota. Everybody there is nice. We got multiple places around the country, but that's where our customer service department's out of. And literally, you can email us. We'll email us just whatever it is. I had someone this morning. Bought a bunch, like 40 different inserts, and one of them came broken. So what do? We just went ahead and we shipped them another one. No cost. We take care of it. Chick chock. We don't. We have in our warehouse has video cameras everywhere. We could go and look at it and check. We're not like that. It's just not. We really want to take care of you guys, and
Sure.
that's the bottom line. The end user,
Yeah.
and that's how we roll. And our warehouse is what I like to call Amazonian. Everything is tip top. I think our rate of success I think is at 98%. We'd like it to be at 99.99. So the likelihood of something coming in incorrectly and the hassle, it's slim. And the nighttime, as soon as you place the order, you'll get your tracking right away that
Yeah.
evening. And
The
that's it.
best
We're a
best
real company. We're not the fly by night.
the best steakhouses in the world overcook or undercook a steak from time to time, but it's how
That's a
they
good
handle
point.
it after that makes all the difference in the world.
Customer service is so important.
Yeah.
I find that, and I see some of the people we work with, like have larger groups or marketplace, whatever. The ones that are successful, that people appreciate and stick around. I'm not talking about large groups, but it's just the smaller. It's the customer service. It's the touch, the feel. Like you mentioned earlier, you're bored of the internet and what it's done to life, but and to add, I want to add to what you're saying, but just as a little side note, I would say the same, and I can't agree more. And I think it's the touch, the personal touch, to know that there's someone really there. It's a live person talking.
Right.
We have the chat feature. It's not just like AI. Just there's somebody there responding. Sometimes I even have fun myself. I'll go on there and like ask crazy questions. It's just you get a
Well,
response. People still want that. We're humans. We want that human touch. I find when I go to shows and I talk to people, the building the relationship. It's this is great talking video and on the phone is great. If I met you in person, that would bring our relationship to the next level.
sure.
It's just how it works.
Yep.
There's nothing better than that. Nothing better
Yep.
than shaking someone's hand, give them a hug, and say, "Hey, what's up? Haven't seen you in whatever." And it's all relationships.
Yep. Well, Jay, I appreciate you coming on and sharing
Appreciate
with
you,
the team
Patrick. Thank
today.
you.
Yep.
I
And
appreciate
love to have
everything
you
you
back
do.
on.
I look forward to looking next time. Thank you so much, and everybody have a great rest of their summer and enjoy fall.
Thanks, Jay.
And thank you. Take care.